All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D games set in my weird, messed up campaign setting, and other people below me are the people that are still trying to come up with reasons why they don't want to be here and just haven't come up with a good one yet.
At this point, you know that's a lie. At that point, you know.
Announcer moments. This previous Saturday, we started the final couple episodes of Realms of the Wild. Which is the open legend RPG that I run for Zelda Universe. So lots of cool stuff are happening. I left them on a massive cliffhanger, which was really, really fun to watch everyone go, "What?" So,
To be fair, we could have gotten further along if we didn't talk for an hour and 20 minutes before the game started, or before we actually started to play the game.
well, I mean, kind of. But
Or
I mean,
during
you guys
every
had.
other conversation.
I was going to say, you guys had plenty of stuff to do during the game itself, and
Oh yeah,
there was moral quandaries that had to be talked about, and we wrote
Yeah.
lore live on stream, and
Yelp was the coolest thing.
it was really fun. We will not be playing this week, though unconfirmed. There may be something happening on ZU.
No, it's confirmed
Is it?
for us.
It's for you, but the
A
It's
reliable
happening
source.
anyway, whether you can see it or not.
you may want to stick around twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV this Saturday to see something kind of special that I can say will not involve me. So
Check out Elias Thompson or Ed Curie Callahan because they're both awesome, and literally we're fighting to see whose stream we're actually going to put it on and who's
Oh,
going
okay.
to host who. So if it's not going up on ZU, then it will be somewhere.
it's cool stuff.
Yeah.
I have been out of the loop. So yeah. Other than that, I started technically 2 series, but they're companion series on my YouTube channel. First one is called Discovering New Dragons, or D&D. And I just highlight systems that are not D&D and talk about how much I like them. And then the second one is called Designing New Dragons, and that's where I build a character or 2 or 3 or however many until people stop watching the episodes from these new things. The character I created that the episode launched today, the character I created I called it a phase monk in the Cypher system. I have the character sheet. I have it. So the Cypher system is super cool because all of your characters can be described with a sentence. They are a adjective, noun, who, verbs. That's how you build characters in the Cypher system. So my monk, his name is Aether because I always try to make my shadow monk in new systems that I try. So his name is Aether, is a stealthy explorer who shreds the walls of the world. And if that is not the most badass character description ever, I don't know what is. So yeah, I created a monk that punches people and can phase through walls and like teleport and like. It was super cool. Like Cypher is an awesome system. It really is. So yes, check that stuff out. It's youtube.com/TraderJody. It is also where I upload all my episodes of Traversing the Veil, my other series, The Legend of the Three Kingdoms, which is getting into its final episodes within the next year and a half. Because every time I'm like, oh, they're almost there. It's like, no, they aren't. So
It almost ended early, but luckily we were all smart enough to not jump into a sphere of annihilation.
I felt bad about that.
No, I was just like, I'm sitting there going, Jody's not doing this, right? This couldn't possibly. And it's like, no, it's a sphere of annihilation.
There was a hole with a darkness spell cast on it.
And silence.
No, there was no silence. The reason you guys didn't hear anything is there's no sound when a sphere of annihilation kills you. You just disappear. So that was the reason you heard nothing. But yeah, so there was a hole, and it had darkness cast on it, so you couldn't look into it. And at the bottom of the hole was a sphere of annihilation, which anything that touches it is instantly annihilated. And there were talks for a brief moment where someone was going to try climbing down into the hole, and I was like, "Oh, great! Someone's gonna have to roll a new character. That'll be fun." And then I have to come up for with a reason why their character shows up. Oh, this is bad.
I was going to suggest putting a rope down and seeing what. I was thinking a rope was going to get sucked in.
Well, luckily, I can't remember what they stuck something in, and then when they pulled it back out, it came like it didn't come out. They just had a stump, and so they're like, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't touch this." So I didn't kill them.
And we also argued about the benefits of having 12 cantrips.
Yes, we have a lot of multi-class characters, and then Imp came in with a single-class caster.
I was strictly see a need, fill a need. So I was just like, okay, cool, dedicated healer.
And
this will be interesting.
And
he said, "You don't have Mage Hand?" Like, no, I took Spare the Dying.
It's like, I have 12 cantrips from my 2 different casting classes. Like, really? And so the running gag just started coming like, "Oh, you don't have a cantrip? Let me check one of my 12 cantrips that I have." And then he go, "Oh, you can't cast 7th level spells? 7th level spells are a myth. No one can cast 7th level spells." "Well, I can cast 7th level spells. Look at this. That's a lie." It was really, it's funny to watch. Like, I'm a huge fan of that kind of rivalry thing. Like, if you ever saw any of the episodes of Acquisition Incorporated with both Holly Conrad and Mike Krahulik, their characters hate each other. And it's hilarious because one's a wizard and one's a sorcerer. And so Jim's like, "Yeah, I'm a real, I know magic." And Strix, Holly's character's like, "I know magic too. You're not very good at magic though. Look what I can do." Fireball. And he's like, "Doves."
And so, by the way, Relin can cast 8th level.
Oh, 8th level, sorry. So, yes, fun stuff. I don't think there's any other announcements that need to be
Sorry. Attacking with fireball. Attacking with doves. Get them.
That's what Jim's thing is his wizard, his school of magic is illusion. So he's an illusory wizard. And I
appreciate that.
That was the original iteration of his magic missiles spelling out "have a magical day."
Yeah, they started off in 4th edition, which was nonsense already, and because they had kind of like a corporate theme, his character naturally went from "I'm a wizard" to "I'm a magician," and so he does magic shows and he makes doves appear everywhere, but he uses actual magic to do it instead of sleight of hand. And so that was the running gag with Jim. And then Holly comes in, and her character started in Dice Camera Action, which was a Ravenloft live play run by Chris Perkins. So they had the same dungeon master. But Ravenloft is a very bad place, and bad things happen. And so she went from, every time the DM rolls, someone's going to die, to Acquisitions Incorporated, where everything is just a massive joke, and it's so funny.
The last game that they ran, those 2 characters, I know them, and my brain just leaves when it comes up to the exact moment when I'm supposed to name them.
Hortensia?
No, Holly Conrad and
Strix,
and Evelyn's played by, I can't remember her name.
Anna
Prosser. There was a thing where they were doing a Spelljammer thing, and some of the characters had never dealt with death before. It's just like you don't have a game where your friends haven't died. I wonder what that's like.
Yeah, back when Chris was still doing Acquisitions Incorporated,
every other week Chris Perkins was killing them.
When I think both Holly and Anna were there, and they just started making just over and over make combats. How's it feel for your to be your DM's favorite? Yeah, we don't know what that's like because Chris just tortures us every week. But no, it's really great that when bad things happen to you guys, everyone laughs, and when bad things happen to us, people die. You don't know what happened to my character? My character got to live for 100 years trying to resurrect her friends because they were all dead in Ravenloft. That was really fun, wasn't it? And so they would just guilt trip. But the best Baba Yaga. The best interaction I ever saw with them was Anna's character is a paladin of Lathander who is very devoted to Lathander and her friends. And so it was the first time Evelyn, her character, was playing with Jim Darkmagic, Mike's character.
Mhm.
And so Anna goes, the only thing I've ever heard about Jim is what Strix tells me. And Strix
Uh-oh.
doesn't believe that Jim is a real wizard. And so when Jim Dark Magic cast a spell and he rolled really poorly, he just goes, I meant to do that. Anna just goes, well, I believe that he's actually a bad wizard, and so I'm going to encourage him. Goes, no, you did really well. And he's like, no, that was bad. No, I'm actually a really good wizard. And Anna's like, yes, you are. You keep saying that. That's how we manifest this. And she just, like, for 10 minutes, he's like, no, I'm an excellent wizard. Yes, you are. I believe you. And it was just so good.
The best thing I always liked about Anna Prosser playing Evelyn is just like the dice tell the story. Whenever it mattered the most, she converted somebody to Lathander.
Yeah.
My God, her win streak with converting was
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, it's great. I can't wait to see the next, because they're effectively rebooting Acquisitions Incorporated with time travel, a la Star Trek.
Oh boy.
And so I am really, really excited to find out how Jasmine deals with early Acquisitions Incorporated. Because there was cool stuff in the early seasons. Like they went to Jim's house in New Hampshire and got to listen to a reading of the will, and it was an awkward episode. It was amazing. Good stuff. Missed 4th edition. So, I think it's time for us to return to Traversing the Veil. Multi-armed monkeys are tough. So,
Aye,
And that's it, you guys.
and
Have fun.
scene.
aye.
Thanks for showing up. No, actual recap.
Okay.
The party has arrived on a vanishing isle. Charged with clearing out the dangerous, monstrous inhabitants that are already there, they've been told that for every piece of proof they bring back, they will be paid an adequate sum. Though they are not the only party that has been requested, seeing as the isle itself is remarkably large. After dealing with some strange, furry Tyrannosaurus Rex, they decided to go north a little bit, head into the forest they saw, and dealt with some strange teleporting dog-like creatures, and then decided to make camp before heading to the mushroom forest that they had been intent in exploring. While they were sleeping, they were ambushed by a bunch of strange 6-armed apes that were led by a massive, towering, Kong-sized ape. Though, by working together and liberal use of a pike and some feats that gave some extra critical damage, they were able to take them all down, harvest a few bits and pieces for themselves in addition to their proof, and were able to finish their rest uninterrupted. And that is where we return. So, when you all awaken,
But we have had a long rest.
yes, so we're going to pick up right at the end of your long rest.
Thank you.
Because of the combat before, to get the full long rest, you guys basically had to tack on an extra 2 hours to your rest. So by the time you guys wake up and are kind of doing all of your morning stuff, the sun is already in the sky a decent amount. You're looking at maybe like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning at this point. or rather, at least in the elemental plane of air, there is no sun, but the sky has turned to its kind of strange bluish white color that indicates it's around 8 or 9 a.m. The color of the sky changes as the day goes on. So, any prep work or anything you guys want to do before you get going? You guys both notice that Crexney and Reggie seem unnaturally silent and probably will remain unnaturally silent for the next 2.5 to 3 hours.
Okay, so they're on auto follow. Be careful where you walk. No, let's just be walking
Who
to
was
a tree.
watching
Just be walking to a
Reggie?
tree. Just be walking to a tree.
I swear to you,
Come on, hold on to my tail.
I've had some follow quests where they have walked directly into fire, and you're just like, maybe if I run this way, they'll get out of the fire. No, they just stand there looking at you, going, what? As their health bar just slowly drains. You're like, but fire, can't you feel it? Is there nothing in your AI that says when I get damaged I should move or do something? Please get out of the fire. I've run halfway across this dungeon and you're just staring at me like I'm supposed to know what to do.
Someone cast the ancient magic of hashtag stuck. Or sorry, /stuck. That's what it.
D&D Online is a fun game, folks. Anyway, so, any prep work or anything you guys want to do before heading out?
So we're still going to the pond, right?
I thought we were heading towards the mushrooms.
Shroomville.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dude, we're still going there. Fresh day, fresh start. I think that's the whole intent for us camping.
Right.
I'm guessing we're still gonna go that way.
Yeah, you guys are only an hour or two away from
Yeah.
the edge of the mushroom forest.
Okay.
You're basically like right here on the edge of the forest up there, the regular forest.
Remembering what happened last time we had some encounters like this, I might suggest like
Yeah.
taking some scarves or something, having them prepped just on the outside chance we may have to protect our breathe
Yeah.
holes.
What happened
the-
last time? Is it as good as the tea?
You don't want to know.
Well, no, because you were there. I think you were there for we discovered the mushroom that was underneath the captain's quarters, and we had to
Oh,
clear that
yes.
one out.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
imagine there was a bunch of little buggers. We dealt with the slight infestation from another ship. Imagine an entire ship where the second level was just stuff like that. On top of that, with mushrooms that want to fight you.
Like
Oh.
super, super high pollen count
Uh,
and
Take
mega
a person out.
allergies.
yep.
Ooh. Thanks, no thanks.
So, anything else you guys want to do before you start heading off?
Well, we already have our bits. We already have the bits and bobs collected from the creatures.
Yep.
Did you guys want to harvest any meat or anything from the creatures? Because unlike the dinosaurs that you guys dealt with, which were effectively internally more insectoid than they were, these are much more beast. Like they have meat and stuff. If you guys wanted any of that,
I
I'm
thought
not-
we were
We
talking
have-
about that last time.
yeah.
Yeah, do we have like a cooler to keep it in? Because otherwise, that would probably just make us walking targets.
You don't have.
We have a bag of holding, but
Yeah,
it's
you have a
like-
bag of holding. If you were, because by the morning, the food would be rotten. So this would have been
Yeah,
something that you guys were
exactly.
doing last night. And last night, as part of your like downtime, you could have tried curing some of it, because
Yeah.
curing meat is not an
Ooh.
incredibly difficult thing.
Oh, okay.
Effective. A lot of times, it's just salt. Does wondrous things to meat.
Not really one for the ape family of meats myself, but and it looks to looks to Arai, but I don't know other people's tastes. Remember the
It's
whole
not
conversation?
bad.
Remember the whole conversation about barghasts and intelligent creatures and what's ethical to eat or not?
Get reminded of that conversation from the Patriot. You'd eat the dogs? Oh, a dog is a fine meal.
I'm just imagining some dude screaming like, "People! It's made of people!" And Arai just going,
Okay.
Tasty
Yeah,
it's delicious.
people.
yeah, tasty soy and green.
So if you guys decided to do that, you can all add 2 days worth of rations. So anyone that decided to do that, you can add 2 days
Arai
worth
will
of rations.
happily do that because he is used to.
The
That is
weird things
not
you've
other
seen in Vanishing Ruins.
Yeah. There we go.
"The super buff guy needs a lot of protein, keep the muscle mass on."
Yeah.
Yep.
Like every
Who's buff?
every hour and a half, you just see him taking out like tuna, and it's like I'm gonna lose my gains if I'm not getting constant protein.
Tuna.
I like tuna. Tuna's really nice. You can only eat so much of it because you get mercury poisoning.
Oh, Jody.
Oh, I've never eaten that much.
No, same, but
But
it's like the diet's on like it's ridiculous. You're watching like the world's strongest man, for example. His diet was torture.
Yeah. But yeah, swordfish, there's the reason why you can only buy small quantities is because it has a very high mercury content, and you can kill yourself with like a slab of swordfish. Or not kill yourself, but poison yourself. It's not good. Yeah, there's swordfish.
so
Okay.
anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So everyone packs up. Like I said, anyone that does it can add 2 days worth of rations, and yeah, you guys are set to go. As I mentioned before, you're only about 2 hours away from, or an hour to 2 hours away from the edge of the mushroom forest, and because it is a large mushroom forest, you guys really can't get lost on your way there. So there's no reason
Okay.
to roll any survival checks or anything to find your way.
My thinking is, I'm thinking like we go in there, we check out, see what's what, see if there's anything we can like, pew pew, chop, take back with us, and then maybe we go back, because this is now the second day, right? The second day on the island.
Yes, this is the start of the
Yes.
second day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never really done a lot of the new clear cutting operations. I got signed up, and that's kind of a risky life to lead. Second day, we're kind of pushing our luck at this point
Okay.
about a new island popping up.
Yeah. It's probably a good idea.
Okay.
I will say you guys would know with an island this size, and the fact that it hasn't finished coming out of the Vale, islands this size generally stick around at least for a few weeks to months, because they're just really really big, and so it takes a long time for them to sink and rise. So
I'm also thinking like maybe we might want to head back to camp just to like head back, if not back to our ship, check up on people.
Pet Thomas, give him some ape
let
meat.
them run around a little bit,
Yeah, let him out.
let them get rid of those zoomies.
Oh
Yeah.
I see the chat.
Thomas is their cook, by the way, for anyone tuning in for the first time.
Oh, I'm checking the notes, the things to do. Oh yeah, daily reminder. No pet.
He's an
There you go.
ex-soldier. No, he's a pet.
So, as you guys,
As the next crew member, we need to hire HR.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm just putting that out there.
Why do both of my characters need to always go to HR?
I wasn't gonna say anything.
It wasn't how you were supposed to start either. All right.
I will mention, like, they're two ends. I mean, they're different parts of the spectrum, And it isn't really a linear spectrum at this point. This is a whole like circle. You pick two different parts of the circle here to be at odds with HR. So I mean, you have that going for you.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, as you guys get closer, the first thing you notice as you leave the forest, you can see kind of the mushroom forest. The mushroom trees themselves are massive. The small ones go up 10 to 15 feet. The larger ones can go up 30, 40, 50, 60 feet, kind of towering above you. And then the ground itself, this is totally not the music I thought it was. So we're going to switch to something different.
Entering Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I'm
forest.
sitting there it's like, well, no, that's... I forgot which soundscape that was, and that is for a different part of the islands.
Oh,
This is supposed to be much more magical
good
and
to
interesting.
know. Good to know.
Yeah, it couldn't be for the swamp that's right next to it. No, not that at all. Because swamps are dreary.
Guys, the music changed. Watch out.
Wait, there's music?
Here we go.
I touched a cursed book once. I broke the fourth wall sometimes.
Let
Oh.
me try this.
What's a firefly?
This is the one that I thought I had, which is literally called Mushroom Forest.
Is it from Mario RPG?
I imagine it
No,
should
that
sound-
is an awesome song, though.
Hmm.
So as you guys get closer, the first thing that you notice is anyone that's kind of dealt with mushrooms, especially since you guys have had to deal with kind
have.
of that mold creature that you fought previously. You're expecting
Oh,
that
there's
kind
mushrooms.
of
Sorry.
musk to come, and that kind of moldy, dryish, weird scent that mushrooms tend to have. But the first thing you notice as you start getting close to this particular forest is there's this kind of strange sweetness to the air, almost like the scent of honey. Very, very faint, but noticeable. In addition to that, the closer you get to the forest, you start feeling the humidity start to rise and the temperature itself starts to fall a little bit. You can see as you step into the first parts of the forest, the ground beneath you, which has been mostly kind of grass and dirt in various paths and undergrowth. As you get into the mushroom forest proper, the ground itself actually turns to this kind of hardened mud that has a slight lavender tinge to it. And the small kind of shrub and flower-sized mushrooms that are around here are covered with these tiny, sparkling diamonds of dew. Every so often, you guys will feel a slight pressure on your head or your shoulder as a bit of dew falls from one of the mushrooms above and kind of impacts you.
Ah.
What do you
Or
guys
I was
wanna-
kind of like dabbing at it and smelling it to see if it's like the forest or if the dew is actually what's sweet.
As you do that, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Everyone?
Just Arel, or
Okay.
not Arel, I'm sorry, Arai. Both your characters start with an AR.
I know. Oh, he's not good today. He got a 9.
Yeah, okay. Pardon that noise. You, as you sit there, you kind of smell it. It smells very sweet. You're not really sure what's causing it to be sweet, but it smells like honey. Very, very thin honey because it's the consistency of water, but it smells very sweet. And are you going to taste it?
No.
It's up to you.
I learned from Zolta.
Okay.
Don't taste dried blood on horse saddles anymore.
Don't lick the rock.
So, yeah, whatever is causing the kind of sweet smell in the air, it is getting caught up in this dew. And so you guys would notice as more of it kind of just naturally falls on you, you start to smell the sweet scent a little bit stronger. Not enough for it to be overpowering, but everything
Oh.
just starts to smell sweet.
I'm sorry. So like it's like walking through a rainforest. We're like collecting moisture on us as just
Mhm.
being here.
Well, it's kind of constantly. It's not so much like it's raining in there, but the mushrooms, because their tops are all rounded, all the dew that collects on the top as it gets heavier and heavier will all eventually roll off.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's a damp experience, but it doesn't feel like that kind of oppressive humidity that you would feel in a rainforest. It's kind of cool and refreshing. So what do y'all want to do?
For some strange reason, I'm looking for Smurf Neblin wearing only white pants and white hats.
La 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 la.
No, you need to find the one with the red pants.
So, there aren't any kind of quote unquote pathways at this part of the forest. The mushroom trees themselves are sparse enough that you can really kind of wander where you want.
So we're supposed to be collecting samples of things as well, correct?
That's kind of like gravy for us. Is like
Your
maybe our main focus is supposed to be like collecting creature heads, body parts, proving we took them out.
your contract was kill creatures.
Okay.
There's nothing else that in your specific contract. However, again, your experience in stuff like this, if you collect things, there are buyers for it.
Yeah.
There are always.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You may not be able to sell it in camp, but you have a ship with a
Yeah.
cargo hold that you guys haven't really used that much. Other than one of you setting up a
Someone slept in it.
We carried some cargo, and then we got almost immediately wanted
Uh,
for seditious material.
Oh, the books. I've heard about the books.
Books are dangerous,
Um,
you know.
They are. They have ideas and words. Be careful.
Then
Araya
she
is
starts
gonna.
getting ideas and thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Araya is gonna see about collecting some of the honey smelling water that has been dropping.
Sure. Why don't you roll me?
A survival, because it's poisonous and you're about to die.
No, I was gonna say survival because normally, if you were collecting, if you were collecting anything else, like you could damage it by trying to collect it. You can't really damage water. Like you can, but it's remarkably difficult.
And if it's dropping off of things, I was just sort of imagining like being able to like catch it as it's dropping instead of like.
Why don't you roll me acrobatics or sleight of hand, whichever of those you think is better? Because it does take a little bit of talent to be able to find a place to collect it.
Athletics.
If
Can I climb up the?
I'll allow it, sure. Go ahead and make me
Okay.
an athletics check for it.
All right, sweet.
I would say
17.
failing an acrobatics check would mean you didn't get it. Failing an athletics check, you're going to fall.
It's okay. I'm okay with falling.
Remember to rage before you hit the ground.
What did you get?
17.
17. Yeah, it's you do find because there's where you are right now. Whenever the kind of droplets hit the ground, you watch the ground itself soaks it up instantly. I don't know if you've ever seen like a whetstone, but if you put water on a whetstone, it is gone instantly. Same basic principle. Also, it's really fun to put water on a whetstone. Like it's hours of entertainment. I have a
What do
pocket
you
knife.
do for fun? I put
I have a
water on
pocket
Whetstone.
knife that I need to
Over
sharpen,
and
and I've never
over.
gotten past the wetting of the whetstone. That being said,
You got strange hobbies, man. Just whetstones and Power Rangers.
yeah, I also used to do martial arts.
Technically a dry stone.
I have a pair of sai about 15 feet away. I have a bokin about 10 feet away.
nice.
I have a little Link figure here because he's cool and he's about to fall. Stop. Stay. Normally,
Link's a good listener.
Good boy, Link.
Because this is D&D,
Oh, kitty!
I normally have my Kiri up there. So, So you realize that collecting this sweet water is not going to be something very easy from the ground. And being the three-dimensional being that you are well up. And so as you go to one of these trees, the first thing you notice that climbing trees in itself is not a difficult task for you. You did it as a kid, you did it as an adult, but as you try to kind of climb these mushrooms, they are mushrooms. They are kind of porous and spongy by nature. And so trying to climb it is a weird experience. But you're able to find one that's kind of shorter. It's only about 20 feet to tall. And as you climb up it, you're kind of like making your old hand holes and climbing your way up. And as you get to the top, you can see as you kind of break the to the top of the trees, you can see the top of it. You are almost kind of knocked back by just the brilliance of the daylight reflecting off of all the dew and everything on the top. You're gonna blink for a second, and then you just take. What are you going to collect it in?
That's a good point.
If you've
I
drank
take
a
it and
healing
hold it
potion,
in my hand.
I was gonna say, if you drank a healing potion recently, you could just use an empty potion bottle.
I don't know if I have.
Well, let's say you guys had a potion bottle on you to make things easier.
Okay. Has someone else drank a potion that I could have stolen the bottle?
Probably.
Okay.
So
Cool.
you.
At one point, I bought vials. It's not on my inventory for some reason. That's weird.
So you
Oh, no,
you
it's
gather
that
up enough to get a decent size
good.
like potion, like probably like a quarter of a healing potion worth of this stuff.
Okay.
And then when you come back down, you notice that your hands that you were kind of using to climb have kind of a strange, kind of almost citrus acidic smell to them from where you kind of stabbed into the mushroom. Which is another thing you weren't quite expecting for a mushroom.
Kind of nice.
Yeah, lemony fresh.
Yeah. I'm gonna go up to Crexney. Crexney, smell me. And just like hold out his hands.
Crexney being Crexney. Okay.
You're doing that thing at the perfume counter, like
Exactly. It's like, what about this one?
Did you attack a lime? And a coconut?
No, it attacked me. It was wonderful.
So as you guys look around a little bit, you can see the forest starts to get thicker as you go further in. But the one thing you don't see is anything kind of moving. Like you can see droplets coming off of the mushrooms and that. You haven't seen any creatures thus far.
Maybe there's.
do we hear any? Like, is this like the sound we're hearing right now? Is it actually ambient to like? Are we hearing like creatures off in the distance? Bugs, insects, birds?
Well, go ahead and make me a perception check then.
Okay. And Marie's telling me I could do it with advantage because I have spit wit.
Arisna very curious and wants to find a monkey and bring him to the forest and see what happens.
Maybe,
19.
19. So hearing out what you guys are hearing from the ambience is kind of what you're hearing. You can hear this, like there's almost an otherworldly feeling to this. There's almost a singing in the air, and you do hear like drips and stuff like that. But you don't hear what you would assume to be animals. Like you don't hear any chirps of birds. You don't hear like the buzzing of insects or anything like that. Another thing that seems kind of strange because insects tend to be around decay with mushrooms, and yet there don't seem to be any insects in this particular area.
Yeah. Do you think there might be something guarding this place at the end of the forest?
We can go find out.
I mean, there's a stream that runs through this place.
To the water?
Yeah, let's go looking for trouble. So we're here.
Yes.
Hey.
Adventurers don't make smart decisions.
Adventures.
Adventure.
So, as you guys continue throughout the forest, the sweet scent in the air kind of wanes and grows as you kind of wander. And you start to realize that the water itself is obviously not the only source of whatever this is. As you kind of go through, you start feeling a little bit lightheaded at certain points, but the feeling passes very, very quickly. I'd like you all to make me survival checks, please.
Yay.
Boy.
Oh, that is not bad at all. 18.
18, all right.
I'm gonna grab my actual dice today. 'Cause we're all 20.
Roll 20 is
I
not
got
being
7,
nice.
by the way. No,
Okay.
D&D Beyond's not being nice. Actual dice for the win.
Survival, that's wisdom. And
Oh. Just kidding. There it goes.
well,
Are you dying too? I mean,
no, I got a 19. Spitwit got a 4.
Okay. So,
Spitwick can come back.
Arai,
God damn it!
when you feel that kind of lightheadedness, you kind of blink it off for a little bit, and you suddenly realize you seem to be alone. And you don't recognize where you are. Smegwick and Owie, you guys, as you're walking, you feel that kind of weirdness. And Smegwick, the first thing you realize is you watch as Spitwick makes like a right turn and just starts going off in a completely random direction, it seems like. And
Mage
just-
hand out. No! Come here! Come here!
And he immediately turns around, and then you guys can see about like 50 or 60 feet off, Arai is standing by himself, just
Right.
kind of still.
Buddy.
Apparently, these are magic mushrooms.
That was
I'm
not
gonna-
the wording I was thinking of, but it fits.
Hey, Allie, I'm gonna do something real quick. If I don't, I should still hear you.
Okay.
If something happens, just tap me on the shoulder,
Right.
buddy. Okay. I'm gonna ward through Spitwit and see like what's going on.
Are you trying to see what Arai is thinking? Because thoughts.
I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. You're gonna see through his eyes.
I'm perceiving through Spitwit, so like,
Okay.
since we have like,
You don't see anything different, like other than the fact that Spitwick can see a few colors that you can't.
is he all wonked out because I have that telepathic connection and
Not
I'm
really.
perceiving through him?
He seems to have experienced the same kind of momentarily lightheadedness that you did. It's just it lasted slightly longer.
Oh, he's out of it.
Not anymore. As soon as you turn him around, he's fine.
Oh, okay. That was interesting. You good?
Where'd you go?
Arai,
Where
you
did
would
you
kind
go?
of hear, again, about 50-ish feet behind you, you would hear them kind of conversing, and you realize, oh. You somehow got turned around.
Yeah, so I just go.
I'm
I
used
go.
to that.
Yeah, I go back
Ah.
since Spitwit and I are right there, so I still hear. I'm like,
You are the D&D version of Zorro. From One Piece. No freaking sense of direction.
I would say, Arai, go ahead and roll me a history check.
Arai has great direction. Oh wait, no, I didn't want to roll in that.
too late.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
no.
taking that. I'm taking that off so I don't press the buttons anymore. Sorry,
I was
got a
gonna
2,
say you
folks.
have
I got
a-
a 2.
You have advantage in the roll since this is something to do with your backstory. So
Roll the other die. For
you're gonna roll a
in
physical
real
one
life?
for the other advantage.
Yes.
What'd you roll?
Two.
What'd you?
So yeah, you don't remember anything about this. It's just you
Get
lost
yourself
your way
one of
for
the-
a second.
Get yourself one of these.
Wow. Yep. Hold on, I'm gonna change to another set. Let's try that again.
When the dice just don't want the GM to tell you guys something,
Well, I was gonna ask, but I think I've already like this is a new area. Cause I actually was curious, but I would imagine nothing like this is popping up in Smegwick's
Well,
history either.
go ahead and because you've spent some time in the Feywild, go ahead and give me. You won't get advantage
Oh.
on it, but go ahead and give me a history check.
All right. 18.
18. Yeah.
Anyways.
So
I saw some weird shit.
one
but...
of the inhabitants of the Feywild, the Verdant Empire, is it's populated by fairies, and one of their favorite things in the world to do is to cast enchantments on sections of forest and things like that. That causes your kind of natural sense of direction to just get completely destroyed. And it causes people to get lost constantly. They love doing this. But that is a product.
That is actually digging heavily into Smegwick's path.
It's a product of magic. It's a combination of illusion spells and some charms that allow them to do this, that fairies specialize in. Whatever is causing this seems to be a natural occurrence of something similar to that. And because it is naturally caused as opposed to be, magically caused, it's not as powerful, and it's not quite as, like, the whole point of the spell is to get you lost, and so it will actively cause you to go back over your own steps and things like that. Whereas this, it literally is you will randomly lose sense of direction, and so sometimes you will go the wrong way, sometimes you will go the right way. But it is truly random and seems to only last for a few moments.
So this does seem more ambient and less like little buggers are having fun with us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Fairies
I
are not
probably-
particularly fond of the plane of air.
Yeah, fair jerks.
They like all their trees and their hiding places, and when most
Smegwick just slowly looks to Owie, and then to Orion, like,
I was speaking out of character.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I was
it's just
imagining
like, and I subconsciously rub my elven Eladrin ears.
Hi.
Suddenly
Sil-
goes from
in
summer to
Sil- in Sylvan, I'm sorry. Normally she is not problematic. I swear.
So yeah, you guys think if you kind of focus your minds, it probably won't be too big of a deal.
Okay.
But it is the first time, and if Smegwick decides to explain it to you or I, you would be very familiar with fairies doing stuff like this. You were just a little out of it from your mushroom trip, so.
Yep. Distracted by the honey water.
So this is like an alternative version of like the Feywild, where this is like just background type stuff going on, as opposed to like little flittists going around causing trouble.
Oh. I remember when I had. Never mind. Not a story.
Oh, you're going to be
wanna
a
hear?
problem. Focus. Oh, you're going to be a problem, aren't you?
Hmm?
Focus.
I'm here. Now,
So,
do we hold hands and walk?
Hmm.
well, I mean, as long as we pay attention to
It's
our
hands,
surroundings.
Trainer Jody. It's hands.
I said nothing.
You didn't have to. That's true.
So as long as we stay focused and we, like, hopefully not all three of us or five of us are like, okay, they're not auto walking into a mushroom or anything. Okay.
Mm.
So, are we at the water yet, or are we still
No,
like?
from
okay.
the edge of the forest to the water is probably going to take you at least 4 or 5 hours. Like, it's a big forest. And the river runs almost directly through the center of it. So,
Maybe we'll keep an eye out for like clippings, samples, anything we could take back with us, because this place turns out to be a wash. Also, really keep an eye out for sentient shrooms, because
Yeah.
man, I really don't want to have a mushroom equivalent of a treant.
They would make you smell so good. Smell this. Put his hand.
Before they squash you, stop it.
You would have a very citrusy smelling corpse.
Could be worse.
So, what do you guys want to do? Continue heading towards the direction that you saw the river? Do you want to kind of explore other directions? What do you want?
So if we continue going towards the river, that means we're going to be camping out overnight again.
We'll see. Well, we started about 9, 10-ish, you said, and that's maybe
It
a
takes
4 hour.
4 hours to get there, and then we're like much
And it
further.
took you about an
from the
hour and a
city.
half to get into the forest itself.
Okay.
Right, and then all the way back to the city. It's going to take us another, what was it?
Couple of days.
To get from the city to the edge of the mushroom forest is like a day and a half.
Okay.
Okay, so we're definitely camping out. Either way.
Well, I mean, it depends if it depends on what's chasing us.
True.
It depends on what trouble we find ourselves in.
True.
So let's go for the river first, and then we'll see what happens after that.
All right.
the
Not
river.
that I know too much about this. Do I see any opportunity to take a clipping, a sampling,
Sure. Go ahead and make
anything that seems opportunity?
Yeah, sure. Make how about everybody in the party go ahead and make me survival checks.
Okay.
Or anyone that's thinking about taking samples and stuff like that.
Wow, I'm doing really well on my wisdom checks. 17.
Okay.
15 for Smegwick,
Okay.
and
21.
I would say Spitwick cannot roll this check.
well, it doesn't make it 5. So
And then what was yours, Arai?
21.
Okay. So,
so 50%.
Owie, being one of the shorter members of the group, you tend to kind of focus on the stuff on the ground. You're finding like little, mushrooms and things like that. And you find a decent collection of different kinds of mushrooms. Some that are more like, button, what are those called? White button mushrooms or whatever they're
Button
called.
mushrooms?
And then other ones, like you find a nice little collection of small mushrooms. Smegwick, you start looking at some of the trees and some of the larger kind of shrub-shaped mushrooms, and you kind of figure out ways that you can take samples of them without damaging them too much. Whereas Arai, since you have already ingratiated yourself with the large mushroom trees, you are taking, the equivalent of bark samples and taking almost like tree core samples and stuff like that, and getting, just cutting into the large trees themselves. But you guys are all able to take, let's say, what did Smegwick, what was the actual number you rolled again?
15.
15, yeah. So between Smegwick and Owie, you guys both get the equivalent of about 3 samples each. Arai, you're able to get 4 samples.
While Smegwick's collecting, goes one side makes you larger. One side makes you
I will
smaller.
say, yeah, because you all would have to cut into them. Owie, you find that the kind of shorter, like ground-based mushrooms that you're cutting, as you collect them, you get kind of a strong kind of bitter scent from them. Arai, you've already discovered that the very large ones have kind of a citrus acidic scent. And then Smegwick, as you're getting like the more kind of shrub side stuff, you notice that as you cut into them, they do have that more kind of moldy, damp scent that you were expecting from the forest as a whole.
Like, get stuff like, okay, there we go, and prestidigitation. Who needs crap cleaned off them?
I do.
All right, Hero.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Right, it's just sort of keeping his hands close to his face and enjoying the scent before going over. sticking out his hands.
Is it really huffing?
Oh
No, he's
god.
enjoying the citrus. Makes
Um,
him happy, okay? It energizes him.
Gets rid of toxins. You know,
Does.
and everybody knows, you know, like, the real dangerous thing is toxins.
Toxins are pretty toxic.
And
Let's be
antioxidants.
honest. Free radicals? Not about that life.
I'd never really focused on antioxidant. I apparently for most of my life I've been pro-oxidant, but apparently they're a good thing. Rest in peace, John Panette. As you guys are going, you start noticing like little sections where instead of the kind of hardened mud and almost like a spongy texture to the ground, you'll see these like incredibly hard, almost rock-looking things that are mostly buried, and they are they're very colorful and have almost kind of a metallic sheen to the top of them, and every so often you'll see kind of brightly colored stones, sometimes translucent, sometimes not, that are kind of embedded in these harder patches.
So stones or crystals?
You can't tell from just kind of looking at them. They're a part of these hardened plates that you see every so often. If you want to get closer and kind of examine one of them, you can.
I'm gonna examine this. Occurs to me now, maybe we should be a little more active on keeping an eye out now that we're really into the
Okay.
this forest.
Thick
So
of
I'm
it.
gonna. I was gonna say thicket, but you beat me to it. Damn it. Okay, so he's gonna go up to. I'm gonna inspect it first. If this is a muscle job, this might be for you. And he goes up to inspect what he hopes is a rock.
Okay.
Araya
So-
is curious, though. He's just sort of leaning over him and watching.
You watch for other. Okay, fine.
Oh! The other watch. Hold on. Okay.
Uh,
Now he's watching around.
So as you
Looking.
as you come over to it, you can see it is it's embedded in the ground itself, and again the kind of tough exterior part has a metallic sheen to it, but the kind of colorful things are embedded far enough into this other material that it's hard to tell if they're crystalline, if they're stones or anything like that. There's kind of a film over the top of them to where you're almost like a thick matte finish.
do they are they different colors or look almost like scales?
They are different colors, and they are other than like the matte finish kind of dulling them. They're very kind of bright, like sapphire blue and kind of neon green and things like that. So very bright colors.
I'm like, it's like he wants to keep everyone up to speed too. It's like I'm gonna take out my utility knife and I'm gonna see if I can't pop one of these things off.
Make me a. So you're trying to kind of cut through the little matte layer to get to whatever the crystal is underneath, because the whole thing is kind of covered in this semi-translucent layer of something.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if it
Okay.
go well. Yeah, see how effective it might be. It might be like
Sure. Go ahead and make me a survival check. That makes sense.
okay. And Smegwick is gonna be like, yeah, probably ought to do this. It's my idea. And survival. 14.
14. So as you sit there trying to kind of cut into it, you notice you're not really making any leeway with your knife. Like as you try it again, and you notice it's not like scraping or anything, and you're not even really leaving a mark. And as you start to press harder, you start to see a little bit of residue on it. As you look closer, the residue itself looks metallic. You start realizing you're blunting your knife on this.
Ooh.
Also, I can't even go through the whatever this lacquer is. This
With the
thing's not-
knife with just like a little like hunting knife type thing, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. And the knife itself hasn't been damaged, but you do have like little parts of the blade that you've ground the blade off in little parts, to where it is effectively been blunted.
Yeah, a little bit of sharpening on that. I'll
Yeah.
think there.
10
the
minutes with a
whetstone.
whetstone. Yeah.
Did you know?
10 minutes with a whetstone. It's really cool though. You put water on, just like, but it's not like a sponge where it like it's bigger. It just like all disappears.
So we know what Trainer Jody's going to be doing the rest of the night. Drops of water.
In Arizona, it used to
So-
happen every so often on concrete and that because it was so dry that the water just goes.
Oh yeah. Hey, Arai,
Hmm.
you want to take a swing at that? See if you can take it. Like maybe you can chip off a piece.
You want me to stab the ground?
We'll see if you can chip the rock. I mean, do you think you can do that or what?
I can
They-
try.
Does anyone of us have a sledgehammer or something?
Dab it with a. Sure.
Oh God.
Does not seem like a very good idea, but I'll do it if you
Well,
request
if you
it.
have a better idea, it doesn't have to be the only one.
True. So I do have some well, no, that won't help us right now. Never mind. I was gonna say I have some tools, but I don't think they're gonna help us because they're not the right kind. Sure. Smash it.
Sure, make me an attack roll.
All right.
So maybe it's like now he's gonna keep an eye out while Rye takes a swing.
How am I gonna do this on D&D Beyond? Or am I gonna do it on my own? Do it on my own.
And if we go with the gambler's fallacy, you eventually you have to get. You've rolled badly twice. You are owed a good roll.
Yeah, 14.
14. 14 is not bad.
That's good.
As
You should have raged when you hit the rock.
As you strike it, you put a decent amount of force behind it. And so as you strike it, because it is kind of so smooth, your spear just shoo, and you actually have to catch yourself a little bit as all of the force from the spear, instead of going into the rock, is just kind of redirected, and you are kind of pulled with it for a second.
Whoop.
It's
That's not happening.
it is a tough carapace.
Wait.
And someone.
Or a tough rock thing.
Okay. Because I was thinking we might be damaging something we really don't want to be damaging.
You guys can see, like the one that you're looking at is only about like 3 foot in diameter. Like it's not a massive, massive one. You can see that there are others. It seems that the closer you get to the water, the more of these little kind of partially buried things are.
Is there a smaller one that looks like it'd be picked up?
Well, this one, you don't
But
even
it's
know
closer
how
to the
large it is
surface?
because you can see, the part that you can see is about 3 foot in diameter, but it is partially buried. And so you actually don't know how large it is.
Is there any that look like they're closer to the surface, or are they all sort of underneath that same?
Why don't you make me a perception check?
No, no, don't press it.
I'll give you advantage since you're kind of used to looking in places like this.
Me too.
22. Cool. So looking around, you do see what seems more like there's there's kind of a mound about 300 feet away. And the mound itself does seem to have a couple of these things that are a little bit, because it's a mound, they're a little bit more raised. You think you can actually see the edge of one of them from where you are. If anything was going to be kind of pryable and lift upable, that would probably be it.
Okay. So Arai's gonna tap Snegwig on the shoulder and go, "Oh, over here,"
All right.
and he's gonna lead him to that area.
Okay.
Look at this one.
So as you get closer to it, you can see, you think there's probably an edge because you can see two different plate things. But where they meet, there's kind of more earth and dirt and stuff like that. So you can't physically see, but they're kind of perpendicular to each other. Like there's really is that you haven't seen any of these have like really big bends or anything in them. So you think if you clear away the dirt, there's probably going to be an edge there.
Howie seemed real reluctant.
Well, I'm just like saying if we can pick up a rock. I mean, I get the worry and concern, but we're also here we kind of have to risk it for the biscuit, you know.
Yeah. If it's not responding to physical attacks, or not, well, yeah, attacks, do you have anything that you can do to it with magic? Do you have something that's more...
I would say,
has more
Arai,
finesse?
with your familiarity with how combat works, you think you missed, is effectively what happened.
Oh, okay.
Your 14 was not high enough to hit the armor class of this particular object.
Okay.
Yeah, things that some people don't realize. Objects have armor classes. Like doors have an AC, I think, of 10. And they have hit points and stuff like that. So this is tougher than a door.
It's probably a good thing. Maybe? Alright, well, if he knows he missed, then
Yeah.
I thought maybe it just wouldn't penetrate in the...
Well, I'll just say,
Okay.
like, did you find a smaller one you can pick up, or is it still like a chunk? It's
This
buried.
one, it looks like if we clear out a little more, we might be able to get to a portion of it. Still kind of buried, but
All right, you want to try and
try
see,
again?
dig it up?
Sure.
Okay.
This time I'm going to use a hand axe because my pike was a...
So are you gonna try and
Just kidding.
are you gonna try and
Sorry.
like basically like break the stone? Or are you gonna try and dig it up? Because digging up will be an athletics check. If you're actually attacking it, then yeah, it'll be another attack roll.
Did we want to dig it up or did we want to
I
break
was thinking.
off a piece?
I was thinking we were digging.
Okay, then we'll dig.
Okay.
Perfect.
So yeah, make me an athletics check.
It's maybe just keeping an eye out while you're doing that because you just want to
25.
get flanked.
25. Not quite high enough.
Dang
no.
it!
As you're
Shoot.
and what specifically are you used to kind of clear away the dirt and mud and stuff like that? Like, are you using your hand axe? Are you using your pike?
I'm using my hand axe. I'm kind of like
Okay.
pushing the debris around with the butt of it and then
Okay.
sort of seeing if I can...
Yep. So the combination of like moving it, you realize that the dirt or whatever this is, because it's hard to call it dirt because it doesn't really act like dirt all the time. But whatever this is, hitting it with the butt of your hand axe doesn't seem to do a whole lot. But as soon as you pierce it with the head of the axe, it does move around pretty good. And as you're kind of digging, you do start to see the hints of an edge. And you realize that the edge goes a little bit further down. And so as you continue to dig, you eventually dig and you feel the axe go into some sort of open expanse on the other side of this because you feel no resistance. It's hit air. And so as you pull it out, there's this kind of gust of wind from inside of it because of air pressure differences. and all of you get this overwhelming stench of like rotting garbage and molding potatoes and things like that.
Ugh.
It's disgusting.
And as that happens, the mound itself starts to move.
No.
Oh no!
Crap.
And I would like Urabuddy to roll for initiative for me.
Ah.
You
Yeah. Not again. Yeah, you rolled so well for me in my weak chats. Now you go and roll a natural 1 on initiative. That's
Oh
nice.
Well,
no.
sometimes it can be useful to go at the end, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is your actual initiative?
5.
Going? 5? Cool. Smegwick?
10.
Reggie and Crexney on here. Arai?
As,
11.
11.
as B. Dave Walters once said, you're not going last in the first round. You're going first in the second round.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, first things first, those don't really matter. But, so the thing that has the mound itself has started to move, and you can see kind of dirt shifting, and you can see one of these plates kind of gets lifted up and then boom, falls over. And you can see on the underside there's like a cavity where something used to be there, but is no longer there. With the rest of it, you see like this thing, and then you suddenly see this large flesh-colored thing just kind of pop up. Looks like a very large, almost tongue, but on the underside of it, it has these teeth-like spikes as it comes up.
Ew.
And then you see another one of these strange-looking
Oh,
tongue-like things go up.
Tongue.
And then you see this large kind of gaping mouth come up with huge razor-sharp teeth, and this strange abomination of a creature shows up. It has these 3 kind of fleshy, tentacle-like, tongue-like things with spikes, teeth-like spikes on them. It is quadrupedal, and then it has a large mouth with big, sharp, curving incisor-like teeth. And it looks towards you, and as it kind of looks towards you, you get kind of a whiff of its breath, and it is just pure, decomposing garbage smell.
Oh. Go
As-
eat a tree.
As it looks at you, you see it go, and you see one of these massive tentacles come with the spike side down, come swinging at you. And I'm on the wrong screen, so I can't see what I'm doing.
Which you? Because that'll make a big difference.
Arai, sorry.
Okay.
We're gonna go with. Does a nat 1 hit you?
It does.
Cool.
Right in the air beneath my arm.
Well, that air feels horrible.
Probably as bad as it smells.
However,
This
does an
creature around.
18 hit you?
It does.
Okay. So the first large tentacle thing comes over, and you kind of dodge out of the way. But as you're dodging, you don't see the other one come. And as it hits you, not only do the spikes kind of drive into you, but they stick themselves and kind of catch into you. And you are both grappled and restrained.
Ah!
And you take 4 points of piercing damage. Oh wait, no, you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of piercing damage. Sorry.
Ouch.
Okay.
And then it kind of turns towards you, and it tries to take a bite out of you, which it has advantage on.
That wasn't your mouth?
No, unfortunately not.
Huh.
15 versus your armor class.
Hits.
Okay, you take 12 points of piercing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
No.
Is it trying to charm me? Because it can't.
No, this is a disease effect, actually.
Oh, shoot.
Oh shit.
There's your antioxidants.
I'm good at that. Where's my antioxidants? Why is my brain failing at math today? 25.
25. You are fine. So yeah, as it chomps onto you, you can feel like the teeth themselves actually burn as they kind of chomp into you. And again, you are just overwhelmed with this disgusting scent of this creature. That ends its turn. Arai, you are up next.
Good. What can I do? Because I think the answer is nothing.
Restrained just means your speed is 0,
Yeah.
and any attack rolls or things like that are maybe
Disadvantage.
disadvantaged. But you
Yeah.
can do anything you want. And if you'd like
Yeah.
to try and break it, you can use your action to break the grapple.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Otherwise,
So,
I will also mention to you teleportation ends grapples.
yep.
Ooh.
So, Arai's gonna rage,
Okay.
and it's not a bad idea to get. Actually, it's already a bonus action, isn't it?
Yeah, you would not be able to both rage and misty.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I was thinking of my echo. Which I still can't do that with. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to attempt to break the grapple.
Okay.
And that
So
would
it's
be-
it's a strength check. Or strength athletics, sorry.
Yep, same thing. So 21.
No, yeah.
Much better with this dice.
As this again, the tentacles are basically stuck to you, and the barbs are sticking in, and you just go, "Vrah!" and you pull it off.
Okay. And then I have 2 attacks, so I can attack him again. Or I can attack him.
Well,
correct? Or
your
does that take-
action
that is
was
a major action.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
you get 2 attacks when you take the attack action, but you did.
Gotcha. Yep, got it.
All right. Anything else you want to do? You can move now. You have all your speed.
Perfect. Nope. Not gonna move.
Okay. All right. Smegwick, what you want to do?
Okay, this is not like okay, yeah, fine, yeah. So we bet on Chance, and Chance spit in our face and crapped on our shoes. Okay, so I am going to use. I'm gonna quicken spell, and I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on it. Make a Dexterity 17 saving throw.
Okay. It is a large creature, so you have no problem hitting it and not hitting Arai. What was the save? Dex?
Dexterity 17. Yes.
It makes its Dex save.
Wow.
Ah,
Nice.
crap.
19 on the die.
Oh.
So you watch as you see this kind of purple flame start coming down, and the Yahtug, as it starts to kind of cling to him, the creature just and it kind of shakes it off.
Okay. Well, and I go, crap. I'm gonna back up, whatever the distance, like the 30 feet, if I can, while he has some distance on it, and I'm gonna take my 2 Eldritch Blast on it.
Okay.
First shot, 21,
Mm-hmm.
and second shot, 23.
Both of those hit. Go ahead and roll damage
Success.
for me.
14 and too much out of the way. 14 and 9.
Cool. As you hit it, the kind of bolts of force hit it, and you watch them. You watch as they hit the skin, and it kind of ripples and bounces off of it. Obviously, did it doing damage, but it's a very strange effect that you weren't expecting.
So it looked like it shrugged off my damage a bit.
No, looks like it took full damage, but
Okay.
whatever the internal organs of this thing are is weird.
Pretty weird in general, so not surprising.
Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Just like telling Spitty, like, fly high. I don't need you getting eaten again. Go, 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 go.
Okay. Owie, what you want to do?
Okay. I'm going to follow Smegwit's lead and do 2 Eldritch Blasts
Okay.
on it.
You guys watch as Aoi pulls her rubber rapier out and she starts conjuring energy onto it. Thrust forward and 2 little bolts of force fly from it.
I doubt a 10 on the first one hits.
Goes just shy of the creature, strikes the kind of weird spongy earth next to it. It's
Does it make it smell better though?
Oh, that's
no.
much better. 25.
25 definitely hits. Go and roll the damage.
Okay. Alright, 4 points of force damage.
All right. Back to the top of the order. Smegwick, choose even or odd.
Odds.
I have so many things on my table right now. All right. So, as you are sitting there, kind of focused on this strange monstrosity of a creature, you, out of the corner of your eye, you see something kind of moving, and you can see one of the kind of plate things that you saw before has started kind of shaking and moving. And you can see one strange clawed hand comes up, and another strange clawed hand comes up, and this strange crustacean-like creature claws itself out of the ground. But it doesn't seem to notice you at first, but it does notice Aoi.
Allie, look out!
What the heck is that?
I don't know, but it looks delicious.
I think with that I would serve a white wine.
We do have honey.
This strange kind of crustacean thing with this, you guys now realize that this was the kind of top of its shell. These items runs over and it takes 2 of its pincers and tries to attack Aoi. First one's going to be a 20 versus your AC.
I'm going to use my reaction to use shield.
Excellent. Thank you, Phone. So as it comes forward, you can see the pincer getting closer and closer. You just instinctively put up your hand, and it closes on your shield, and just goes, brings its other pincer around. Gets a 21 this time.
Nope.
And again, you can see it just sitting there. You can see these little tentacles of it as well. They're just kind of flailing around behind it, but they don't seem to be able to get to you at all. There's nothing else this creature can do after that. So, it's going to be done. And the big boy is going to try and tentacle Arai again. This way.
Okay, I do want to say, so for my wild magic, because I didn't
Oh,
roll
yeah.
that until now.
Don't forget that.
Exactly. So, whenever
More weird shit.
more weird things, exactly. So whenever he makes an attack on me, he takes 1d6 worth of force damage because my magic's gonna lash out in retribution. How dare you?
So as you guys notice that as Arai has been kind of raging, you can see Arai gets kind of cold and everything, and you start noticing that in addition to just like Arai having this kind of cold anger, you start noticing little bits of frost appearing on Arai. You notice that Arai's eyes start to glow, and you see this weird kind of outline of force energy just around her, kind of coating her body. And as the first tentacle comes for you, that's a nat 20, unfortunately.
That hits.
So that turns to, math is hard,
Good thing you're raging.
bludgeoning
Yep.
damage
I know.
and 8 piercing damage. Which you can half that, so half a 19, whatever that is. And you are grappled again. It comes for another, grappled and restrained. It comes for another attack with its other tentacle, which is a nat 1, but it has advantage
Yes.
because you're restrained.
Mm.
And that turns into a 19 for a 25. So that's 7 bludgeoning, 4 piercing damage. So 13 halved. And then it's going to try and nom on you again. So
I know I'm delicious, but dang.
another 25 to hit. So that is 12 piercing damage, and again, another con save, please. So the creature itself, you watch it kind of rear up, and do you want to roll the damage because it hit you 3 times? So
Yeah, let me do my con save first.
okay,
18.
18.
con.
Yeah. So you see this weird creature as it comes up, it hits you with one tentacle, and it kind of grips you with it, but you can watch as these little wispy bits of force energy come and it just hits it. You can
And
give
13.
me total, 13 total?
Yeah.
For all 3 of them? Okay. So as it hits it, you can see her effectively just keep hitting it over and over again, and she seems to just be striking it as well. Very quickly, from Crane's World, you can take a potion of supreme healing.
Nice.
Huzzah!
So
Thank you.
the way
Wow,
that
that's
I
a
treat
lot.
the way that I treat potions redeemed by chat is if you are currently missing hit points, you use it instantly. No,
Awesome.
no need for an action or anything. So roll 10d4 plus 20.
Damn.
And,
Do I get temporary damage? Because no, I'm done. What was it?
10d4 plus
Yep,
20.
Plus 20.
So as that happens, the creature kind of noms on it. It seems to be taking damage from Arai as it attacks her, which is just weird. But so is Arai, or attacks him. And yeah, it is done. Arai, once you are done rolling your healing, what
I
would you
am
like-
back to exactly my max health.
Hey.
To the number exactly. So thank you very, very much, Crane's World. It's very nice of you. That's funny. Okay. And then I am grappled again, but that's okay because I'm now very, very angry at the fact that this stinky thing has been grabbing me, and I don't appreciate it. So Arai is going to attack it with his pike.
Did you want to break out of the restraint in some way first?
Oh, that's right, because I can face up. Ah,
The reason I ask is if you're restrained, your attack rolls are made with disadvantage.
right. Yeah, you know what? I will face up.
Okay. So you guys watch as the creature looks to be trying to slowly crush her and bring him into its mouth, and suddenly Arai just disappears and there's a little burst of flame. Is there a save or anything, or is it just auto damage for that?
Just auto damage.
Okay.
4 fire damage. Excuse me.
So you see this little burst of flame, and the creature just kind of looks around, wondering where its meal just went. And Arai appears close enough to stab, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm.
So Arai appears kind of in the air above it, makes your attack roll.
So 27.
Definitely hits. Goes into it, stabs it.
For I just rolled and forgot what I was doing. Sorry.
Just roll dice. Just
13. Exactly. Just gonna keep rolling.
Okay.
So 13.
And then second attack.
Attack again. For 24.
24 definitely hits. Roll damage. So you guys watch as Arai appears above and just brings her pike into it, pulls it out, kind of spins it around, shoves it in again, doing
13.
13 more damage. As you pull it out, every time you stab this creature, more just unpleasant smells come out of it. It almost is like this creature is rotting as it lives.
Ew.
And so as you pull it out, you get this just weird, disgusting looking brown and black viscous liquid that just pours out of it.
Yeah, it's like you're fighting a septic tank.
I mean, you're not wrong. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Oh, that'll end it.
All right. Smegwick. There's a little lobster friend who's singing Under the Sea over to Owie.
Or shiny.
Shiny.
And a strange tentacle tongue creature.
Unfortunately, Crexney hasn't gotten around to inventing a Pokeball yet, so the other thing, like, we need to take the bigger thing out first. Kid, are you good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, good. We're going to focus on this, and I'll help you next.
Okay.
You stupid friggin' thing, work! And I'm gonna use. I'm just going to. Yeah, I might as well do it again. I'm gonna repeat. I'm gonna lather, rinse, and repeat. I'm gonna do another quicken spell, dexterity 17 saving throw on the big fart.
Okay, well this time it rolls a 15 and it has an 11 dex, so fails that. So you watch as more of this kind of purple lavender flame comes, and this time it kind of sticks to this creature.
Oh look! Worked that time, didn't it? Advantage, Eldritch Blast.
Go for it.
First shot. Great fish, come on. 22.
Definitely hits.
Second blast. 22. All right.
That one misses though. You can only
Yeah.
roll the same number once.
Okay. Come on. 8 and 13. That's 21 total.
Cool. Creature's looking rough. As you kind of hit more pieces off it, you can see kind of the internal structure of this thing looks fungal. Like you could see similar kind of pathways and stuff like that makes it look, at least the skin itself is very, there's a word that means fungus that's not fungus, that means it's related to mushrooms, and I can't, it's a scientific word that I can't remember.
Mycelium?
Sure, we'll go with that. It's a good word. What Owie said, because that my stutter's not gonna let me say that.
Okay.
But yes. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Just to make, because I don't know what this thing is. He's just saying, Sylvan, come at me, you big farting mushroom.
Surprisingly enough, it does speak a language. It's not Sylvan. Owie, what you want to do?
Okay, I'm going. How close is the guy attacking, Smegwick?
There's no one
attack me.
attacking Smegwick. There's someone attacking you. There's a crustacean that attacked you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're still at range, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to, go up to it and, cast, Shocking Grasp.
Okay. So you kind of just reach out, and the creature is there, and it looks ready to fight. Go ahead and make your
Okay.
attack roll.
30-20.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Uh, 9 points of lightning. And, for my, bonus action, I'm going to, stab him with my rapier.
Okay. So as you kind of reach forward and you grasp it, you can see the lightning kind of go through it, and you can see the tentacles flail a little bit. And as it's flailing, you try to thrust your rapier into it. What do you get for your attack roll?
Alright, not really that good. 14.
14. As you try to thrust into it, it turns a little bit, and you hit that kind of back hard carapace that it has, and ping, it's deflected off.
Darn.
Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
All right. Back to the top. The creature itself is going to try and not nom on you. It doesn't have a mouth that you can see, but it is going to try and pincer you again. Owie.
Okay.
So that is a 19 versus AC.
I'm going to use shield as my reaction.
Okay, so again, it comes forward and seems to be getting really annoyed with that. And it doesn't matter because I rolled a 3 on the next one. So again,
Yay.
it keeps impacting your shield, and it's trying to figure out why the last time your hand extended, it shocked him, but this time when your hand extended, it creates a shield. And it seems to be really upsetting this crazy crustacean thing. The big tentacle tongue thing is going to try and attack Arai again, because it is fully focused on you. Helps if I have the stat block up.
We didn't hear anything you said.
Yeah, you are muted.
As well it should. Arai is fully focused on it.
How does a 22 sound?
It doesn't sound great, but it hits.
Okay. So again, 7 bludgeoning, 4 piercing, and you are grappled and restrained.
Just likes to restrain me.
Auto grapples are fun.
Yep.
18 to hit.
Hits, sorry.
Okay, again, another 7 and 4. And then it's going to try and nom on you again for 16.
Hits.
All right, and then 12 points of piercing damage and another con save. So the creature itself, again, kind of hits you with one of its tentacles and grips onto you. It hits you with its second tentacle and grips onto you. You can feel it starting to crush you, brings you close and bites into you.
18.
18, you were still fine from this. Whatever disease it has on it doesn't seem to be getting through your barbarian blood.
I'm glad. He also takes 10 points of damage.
Total?
Yep.
Cool. It looks real rough. It would have been hilarious if that was enough to kill him. Like, that would have
Nice.
been amazing. But it's still alive. I don't expect that to be true for much longer. Arai, it is your turn.
Arai is gonna stabby.
Okay. Now, you are restrained,
it's have to
so
Disadvantage.
it has Fairy Fire on it, so it's a flat roll, because advantage and disadvantage cancel out.
Yay. $23?
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
All right. Claim your kill. Describe your victory.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just, my victory is a grunt.
Yep.
Just
Arai
dry heaving.
Yeah, exactly. He just stabs it and sees it goes down, just like, and walks away.
So as the
Nothing more
creature-
than that. Just glad to be done with it.
As the creature kind of brings you into its maw Rancor style, you take your pike and you kind of shove it in there, and you hear it go. You kind of twist it around, you pull it back out, and it slumps to the ground. And you kind of look at your clothing. Luckily, none of it got on you, but just how strong the scent is, you're like, this is never going to wash out.
I need to go hug a tree now.
You still have an attack in all of your movement. So
I do. I'm gonna move up to
The rock lobster. Whatever
the
thing is.
exactly. Is it a lobster or a crab? Because both are delicious.
it's closer to a lobster.
Okay. Going up to the lobster, and I'm going to attack it with my pike as well. 21.
21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
14.
14. It's less than pleased with you. You're relatively certain you are not invited to its birthday party anymore. As Arai kind of shakes off the entrails of whatever that creature was, she runs forward, lunges into it, and you hear the kind of satisfying sound of a shell cracking as she pierces the creature and brings it back out. Anything else you want to do?
Nope. But, nope. Actually, no.
Cool. Smegwick. What cool things do you want to do?
Let's see, got all this over here. I don't I think it's now the thing went to Owie, right? So it's not on me.
No, it's not on you. Nope.
I'm at distance. Okay.
I assumed you two were probably within like 15, 20 feet of each other, but you didn't stand right next to each other. So,
Yeah, and then she moved up close. So.
but she hasn't moved at all because the creature went to her.
Oh.
So she's like 10, 15 feet away.
Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna scooch back a little bit in case this thing decides it wants to run at me, and I am just gonna I'm just gonna blast it.
Okay.
2 Eldritch Blast right at it,
Go for it. Make me some attack rolls.
and obviously I draw concentration since the fairy fires. Well, that creature's dead.
Yeah. I mean, technically, concentration ends when the creature dies.
23 on the first one,
Definitely hits.
and 15 on the second.
Second one misses.
Second one misses. Okay. 13.
13. Cool.
And so maybe just screams out, "Yeah, get off her!"
All right. As one of the bolts kind of flies past you, Owie, you see another one hit her right in the back, and again you hear that kind of cracking sound that you sometimes hear at Red Lobster. But it's your turn, Owie. What do you want to do?
So I see the growing crack in its carapace.
Mm-hmm.
Is it would it be a disadvantage if I aimed a ranged spell attack at it?
Because it's right next to you, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Unless you don't have crossbow expertise, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah, ranged attack with it right next to you would be disadvantage. If you want to try and back up, you could do that.
No, I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to do the, same thing again, shucking grass and, bonus action, rapier shot.
Go for it.
Alright.
Alright, she's gonna start muttering to himself the different things that you can do with the lobster. We should really boil this one.
Dirty 20.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Alright.
Shrimp gumbo, shrimp fricassee, ball shrimp.
That's 2d8.
Got some lobster cakes.
Lobster rolls.
9 points of
Lobster
lightning.
cake.
All right. Go ahead and make your stab.
Yep.
So you guys watch again as Owie is sitting there, and as the creature just keeps kind of trying to grip her with its pincers, she kind of dodges around, reaches up, and another bolt of lightning goes across it.
That's a 12.
12. And then as you try to thrust into it again, it's deflected off of its carapace. Anything else you want to do?
Nope.
Okay. Back to its turn. It has realized it has no friends left. So it's going to run like a bitch.
Okay.
Owie and Arai, if you guys want to make opportunity attacks.
Yep. So, let's see.
Owie, do you have Warcaster or no?
I do.
So yeah, you can
Oh.
you can cantrip that.
Yeah.
Or you can cast a spell at it.
Yeah, I'm going to use.
Well, she's picking.
How do
Arai,
I-
what do you got?
I got 16.
16 is exactly what you need to hit.
16 for
16
16 damage.
damage? Okay. And then Owie, what you doing?
I'm going to use Scorching Ray.
Scorching Ray. Because those are ranged attacks,
Oh, yeah.
it would still be made with
There's-
disadvantage.
Okay,
I can grab.
and, you know what? I'm just going to stab it instead.
Go for it.
Alright.
Stab it.
Highly recommend stabbing things.
And apparently, my rapier rolls are reflecting my current condition. That's a 10.
Your dice just don't like that rapier.
Yeah.
So again, it kind of deflects. You see the creature just run as fast as it can. Because of just how thick the forest is here, it pretty quickly goes out of your view. If you guys would like to, if you want to try and track it to finish it off, it is bleeding rather heavily, or you can let it go. What would you all like to do?
Lobster meat. Arai's gonna go after it.
Okay.
It is delicious.
What's your speed, by the way? Is it
40 feet walk.
Yeah.
40, yeah.
So, if you just want to make, your turn is next. So if you just want to make a survival check real quick to make sure you can follow it, you will have no problem catching up to it. You're faster than it is.
23.
Yeah, no problem at all. You catch up to it. You got your little, lemon butter already. Go ahead and make
A
your
little
attack
bit of
rolls.
the citrus from the trees.
Yeah. You're sitting
All
there going,
blend
if I
together.
chop down that tree and kill it with the tree, then it's pre-seasoned.
Oh, yeah. Huh. A little bitter, little lemony. 20.
20 definitely hits.
No, like
Nat 20?
20. Nat 20, yeah.
Oh!
Oh hell! Oh, this thing. Oh, okay. This
So
thing.
Well,
hold on, you'll have to remind me how this goes. Okay.
Okay, everyone,
you are
take
a
a break for
barbarian.
about 10 minutes. We're gonna
Yep,
this is gonna
hold
be a
on.
while.
I'll figure it out.
Normally, it is 1d10. Crit turns into 2d10. Brutal crit turns into 3d10. Piercer turns into 4d10.
Okay.
Or your rage damage.
Hold on.
Let's
That's
let her
all I
do
got.
math first.
30.
30.
Jesus Christ.
That's one hit. Is it down yet? Because I have another.
It looks real rough. It is
Oh.
barely limping away.
24. Does that hit?
Yes. You do not have the ability to roll low enough to not kill it.
Good, because I got a 14.
Claim your kill. Describe
Yeah.
your victory.
Actually, I got 17. Arai's just going to be
Jesus.
staring at the.
You
staring
guys
at
are
the
mostly
claws and, like,
superfluous as Arai's just killing everything.
pretty much at this point. And thinking
Wait.
of all the different ways that he could eat all of this delicious lobster. And so he's just going to go and goes, this should be faster. And he's going to take his pike and he's going to stab it right through where his eyes are to kill it so
Okay.
that he could eat it faster.
We lost sight of it for a split second. We just saw you just go behind a mushroom, and we just hear the loudest, god awful crunch smack. Just like, oh god!
So you guys don't actually see anything. You just hear this crunch, and
Yeah,
then Arai comes back with her pike on her shoulder with the entirety of the
dangling.
creature just on the end of it.
I got dinner.
Great work.
Turn that back up a little bit. Yeah. What do you guys want to do with, as far as any proof that you want to?
I think as long as it doesn't stink too much, can we just like take a big old chunk of a tendril tongue, whatever the frig this thing is?
Sure.
How about one of the spikes? Well, no, because there's some sort of poison and disease on it. It felt tingly.
I'll
Is that
take
like the
a.
good tingle or is it bad tingle?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a piece of the carapace.
Okay. Carapace of the crab thing?
Which one had the gems?
The crab thing is the one that had the kind of multicolored shell thing.
Okay, so I'd take a piece of the carapace.
Okay. I'll say the carapace itself is, or that big thing with all the shinies in it is really, really strong. However, it's kind of like, what is it? Is it a fiddler crab? Where it kind of finds things to attach to itself. So if you want to take the entirety of the thing, which on this particular creature is about, the whole thing's about 2.5 feet in diameter. It's this big 2.5 foot stone with stuff in it. You can take that. But
Okay.
chopping it up would be a feat in and of itself. It's really, really thick stuff. Otherwise,
Okay,
it has
then
claws
I'll,
and other things that you could take.
Yeah, I'll
can
try.
that.
Yeah, I'll try to help her. Separate the shell from the body.
Sure. Between the
From
two
the
of you,
meat
you
helping me
can
cook.
you can get the shell thing off. But it is it weighs a good 30 pounds. Like it's a hefty thing.
Yeah.
For
strong
the
boy.
flesh creature, do you guys want to take? What do you guys want to take for proof from that?
That's what I was thinking, like a tentacle chunky thing.
Yeah, you guys get the
Something we can
tentacle
seal it in so we
part.
don't
Way it
smell
basically goes is it's kind of thinner-ish. It's probably about like this thick, and then when it gets to the part with the teeth on it, it flares out to about this big. So if you wanted to chop off just the part with the teeth, you can do that.
All right.
Cutting through the tentacle is again kind of like cutting a mushroom, and it smells horrendous the
Ugh.
entire time.
Oh God. Prestidigitation. Just mint.
Yeah.
Mint. Afterwards, Araya is gonna go up to Smegwick and just stand there with his arms out, waiting.
4
Well, you
hours
know
of prestidigitation later.
Just
That
tomato juice.
Yep.
that is unfortunately where we are going to end it for tonight. As always, if you missed any of the episode, I do upload all these to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/treasuretrainerjody. So check that out. And like I said, 2 new series that I started over there involving just discovering non-D&D RPGs and seeing what makes them cool. And then building characters that mimic my D&D character I always play. So check all that stuff out again, youtube.com/treasuretrainerjody. Otherwise, that is all for me today, and I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.